live. Hopefully we are live. I hope that's working. It looks promising. Well, you know what, guys? We will leave that. Whatever happens, whatever happens. Lee Dixon, any updates on World War III, lad? Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys, if I let me pin that comment. So I guess we're all on now. I know that took a little bit of a swizzle, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give my prediction for what's going to happen next. So between the conflict with Russia and Ukraine right now, Vladimir Putin has said he's going to have a strong response to. He's told President Donald Trump that he's going to have a strong response. What I believe will happen is I think that the most likely timing for this to happen would be Friday the 13th. The Russians love their key dates. They love their poignancy. So I would speculate that the Russians will, and again, guys, this is just my opinion. I would say that the Russians are going to strike Ukraine on Friday the 13th, and I'm going to say that they are going to strike an area in or around Kiev with their new toy, the Oceanic missile system. So that's what I think is coming, guys. And then you've got to understand what's going to happen next. First of all, you're going to get condemnation. That's going to give Keir Starmer a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for? A lot more social credibility. So Keir Starmer can stand up there then and he can say, yes, well, we've been warning about the Russian threat. We've got to deal with these Russians and yada, yada, yada. But I do feel that that's the next step. I do feel that's the next phase. Right, let me jump up and get some comments, guys. Let me jump up and get some comments, because I do want to talk about tonight, though, something that, if you guys were on the live stream earlier, we were talking about this on the live stream earlier. These twin suns, or this twin planet, the big red planet thing. Now, apparently, but there has been a lot of these videos, spread out through social media. Lots of people have been sharing them. And at first glance, guys, I thought these videos, I've not seen them myself. My initial reaction was, right, it's fake, it's AI, I don't know what it is. I'm not really going to comment on it. But. This morning on the live stream, we were talking, and some people were actually saying that they've seen this themselves. So I was thinking, right, okay, I've got to take this now at face value, and I can't dismiss this anymore. So we've got these like big red planets, and when we were talking this morning on the live stream, I was talking to one of the guys, and I said, right, have you actually seen it yourself, and could it be the sun? And he said, no, I could see the sun going down. It was like over that way. And this big red ball was going down in a different location. Now, I don't know if people have been mistaken. I genuinely don't know. But if this is true, guys, this should be the biggest story in like the world ever, because it kind of means we've either got two suns overnight, we've just become a two-sun planet, or there's another planet or something really big close by in our atmosphere. Right, let me jump down and get all these comments, guys. There are loads of comments. Let me jump down. Lulz Whale is saying hi. Paul Poops, good evening. Matt is saying hi, mate. Stephen, no sound on YouTube. Yeah, I hope I fixed that now. I think I fixed that. Guys, listen, we are double streaming again. Earlier on today, when we were streaming this afternoon, earlier on, the TikTok went down for some reason. It stopped working, but luckily, because we doubled up, we were able to continue the live stream on YouTube. Andrew Saunders is saying good evening. I'm saying good evening back to Andrew Saunders. Sorry, guys, it's just weird noises, like little beeps, and I'm not sure what they are. Tyler Evans, have you heard about this European Sky Shield initiative? I've been reading up on it. Yes, I have. We'll come on to that afterwards. Gemma B is saying, hi, Lee Dixon, any updates on World War III? That's what I think is, and guys, all you guys commenting on YouTube, thank you so much for letting me know the sound's working. Let me get through these comments. But yeah, so on the World War III front, guys, we are literally now waiting for Vladimir Putin's next move. I think personally this is going to be on Friday the 13th. It makes sense to do that. I think he's going to use his new weapon, Oshnik, and I think they're going to strike targets around Kiev. Coral Reefing, hi mate, you good? I am indeed good. A little bit of a technical issue this morning, but I'm good, yeah. Debbie 1973, hello. May Bateman, hello. Google is saying, did you like those videos I sent? Girl who filmed, hang on. The girl, so, right, hang on. Devs is saying, don't Ukraine have NATO workers in Kiev? Yes, there are lots of NATO workers all over Ukraine. You know, these guys know the risk when they go in Ukraine. But remember, you know, Ukraine is a big country. Kiev is a huge city. I think they're gonna. I think that the Russians will strike somewhere around Kiev. Again, guys, that's my speculation. You know, but outside of the city. So most of the NATO workers are inside the city centre in Staromizo. I think that's what they call it, or that might be Polish. In the old city where you've basically got, near the Maidan, you've got the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is where a lot of business gets done. You've got not Mikhaileska. You've got, what's the street with all, if anybody knows the street in Kiev where all the embassies are on, Yaroslavoval. So you've got Yaroslavoval in Kiev. That's the main street with all the embassies on. Of course, the US embassy is way out of town. So I don't think that area will get struck. I think there'll be some sort of munitions factory or something just outside of Kiev city centre that will get absolutely obliterated. That's my speculation, guys. And then that is going to leave Keir Starmer then to do some tough talking, some banging on Keir Starmer's chest, and just banging his chest. Off Grid is saying, hang on, Off Grid's got the secret. Off Grid here is talking about the thing that nobody's allowed to talk about. We're not allowed to talk about. You know, if you talk about certain things, you get cancelled. But Off Grid, I'll just let you read that, guys. In fact, you know what? I'll read it out. Did you watch the clip of those New York politicians arguing arguing over who is more loyal to Israel? Kimmy is saying, hi, Sean, UK veterans. Hi, Sean. And Google is saying British defence giant is to make satellites for Trump's missile shield. Listen, I don't know if you, Danny Boy, are you talking about the videos of the orbs thing? Yes, I do. If that's the videos that you're talking about, yes, I did see them. But quickly, let me get to these comments, guys, and then we're going to talk about how aliens may actually be on the way. Aliens may actually be on the way right now, guys. This may be a real thing. No, I'm not kidding. I know it's far out there, but I'm looking at the information that's presented to me. I'm taking things off at face value. Google is saying the aliens are already here. But just quickly, I don't know if you guys know or not, but Britain is, I think Britain's the world leader in building satellites. So Britain, as I understand it, is the world leader at building satellites. So a lot of satellites are built in the United Kingdom. And then Claire thank you guys for letting me know, more people letting me know that it's working on YouTube. Claire over on YouTube is saying, maybe the aliens are here on a rescue mission to take us away from our government. Maybe they are, we don't know. But right, I'm going to try and put all this together once I've got through these comments. Tucker Sean is saying, hi, Sean. I'm saying hi right back to Tucker Sean from this Sean. Just saw a video that Asda are cancelling contracts with British beef farmers. Wow. You know what, guys? Listen, this is all these, you know, when we see all these cancel. In fact, guys, I've not done it yet. Can you all press the buttons, guys? Can you all please press the buttons? The like, the follow, if you're on YouTube, the subscribe, all those buttons that basically help this channel grow, help all our channels grow as we move through this potential alien invasion that may be on its way. But yeah, well, UK Veterans here is saying, just saw that Asda are cancelling contracts with British beef farmers. Any degradation of our food system is going to be degrading to our life system. There's no question in that, guys. Like, this war on farmers, this, this full frontal assault on farmers, it just seemed really crazy that this is happening. We first saw this in, I first noticed this when it was happening in, where was it happening? Was it happening in Holland? I think it was Holland. Yeah, can you remember when there was the Dutch farmers and the government were wanting all the Dutch farmers to like not use certain products on their... Guys, look, Dutch farmers are probably the most efficient farmers in the entire world, bar none. So if anybody... Right, let's conceptualize this, guys, right? Say you want to use some sort of, you want to say, right, I want to try and bring net zero, work on net zero, and by doing so, we want to stop our farmers using certain fertilizer. Would you go to and stop the most efficient farmers, certainly in Europe, potentially in the world? If anybody knows of more efficient farming than Dutch farming, please let me know. Would you go to like somebody that's not really good at farming and say, right, can we just do a trial on you guys, because we know you guys' food production is not that good, so if it goes wrong or whatever, it's not going to be that catastrophic. But no, they went straight for the Dutch farmers. Like, Dutch farming, guys, it's really, really efficient. And this war on farmers is going to hit people in the pocket ultimately. And you know what, guys, I might just start eating bugs now. Carly is saying, did you not see the Kherson was attacked bad last night? Yeah, I did, Carly. Kherson was attacked last night. Again, what is a bad attack? We are in literally, we're not even in the beginning of World War III, I don't think. I think the beginning of World War III is over. I think we're actually in it now. Off Grid is saying Trump's Golden Dome, whether it's actually happening or not, will start another arms race. Yeah, so for those guys who don't know how these things work, and when people think, you see, there's got to be a balance of power. There's got to be a balance of power. Now, if one superpower has more power than the others, then that superpower can can strike with impunity. So for peace, this is how they work. Again, guys, it sounds strange, but this is what we're talking about here. So for peace, both sides, east versus west, north versus south, left versus right, black versus white, orange versus whatever you guys want to do, each side has to have a comparable strength. Because if one side, east versus west, whatever, if one side has a larger strength, then that has dominance and it can do what it wants to the other one. So as Off Grid saying there, the Donald Trump's Golden Dome, which is defensive, will start a new arms race, because if a country has a defensive system, that means they're immune to attack. That means that they can attack with impunity. So that's what we're talking about here, guys, is a potential new arms race on its way. Personally, the United States is far too big to cover with a dome. Unless Donald Trump's wanting to cover it in actual gold. Maybe that's why he was wanting Fort Knox to be audited, because he wanted to cover the United States in actual gold. I don't know, maybe he did. And then M5 over on YouTube is saying, I wonder if Google will work on AI drones paired with LiDAR systems. They would do well. What do we mean with that? What does that mean, M5? M5 is saying, I wonder, let me pin this actually. I wonder if Google will work on AI drones paired with LiDAR system. they would do well. When we're talking about drones, guys, you know, you've got what is the use case of that drone? What is the use for that drone? Why is it being used? So yes, Google would work with AI drones, but to do what exactly? Let me take that down. Danny Boy is saying some of the Anunnaki is still here. We are going to be talking about that in a minute, guys. British bin strikes could last until Christmas. That's pathetic. I think there's more to this. I think there's more to this bin strike in Birmingham, ladies and gentlemen. I do. If there's anyone from Birmingham, can you please throw a comment in and tell us what this is all about? Because I don't like. As I understand it, guys, for those of you who don't know what's happening, maybe you're overseas or whatever, people in Birmingham, the bin men in Birmingham basically have been offered a pay, they've been given a pay cut basically. I don't know how it works, but remember, Birmingham is one of those councils that is, they're bankrupt basically. They've been spending too much money. They've not been crossing the T's and dotting the I's. But Birmingham Council is basically giving their guys a pay cut. Now they've done some skullduggery, so whatever. But the binmen have said, well, look, I can't afford to work at that. So do you know what? I'm going to go on strike. Now that is one issue. That's one issue, guys. It is. The other issue is, why don't people take the bins themselves? The bin men are on strike. Right, okay, fair enough, I'll deal with it myself. But people are just literally throwing their rubbish in the streets. It is looking like a third world country. Snowdrops is saying, what's going on with reform and Zia resigning? Zia Youssef's resigned. Whoa, hang on a minute. Zia, is that real? Is that right? He's gone, ladies and gentlemen. He has gone. I did not realize this is just out on the 5th of June. So thank you for that, Snowdrops. Right, yeah. So, right. Do you know what? We do need to cover this, guys. We do need to cover this. This has literally just happened. Right, I'm just going to go on to Reuters here, guys. Chairman of the UK's Reform Party resigns. Listen, guys, I'm literally reading this in real time. We will talk about aliens. I promise you, guys. We will be talking about aliens, all right? But just this is like quite breaking. London, June the 5th, Zia Youssef, the chairman of Britain's Reform Party, has resigned. Reform, led by Brexit campaigner Nigel Farage, won 5 parliamentary seats in a breakthrough result at last July's national election, and last month performed strongly in local elections. The party currently leads the national polls ahead of the Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour Party. So this is a quote from Zia Youssef. I no longer believe working to get Reform government elected is a good use of my time. And I hereby resign the office, Youssef said, without giving further details for his exit. Right. I think this has got something to do with, you know, that woman, and she stood up in Parliament the other day and said she wanted to ban the burqa. She said, right, Keir Starmer, we're following Europe. You know, you're all cozying up to the European Union. Can we follow the European Union and ban the burqa? She stood up in Parliament and she said this. Now, I've heard from... Look, guys, those of you who don't know, I was standing as a member of Reform at the last election. I resigned because there were so many problems with that organisation. I didn't want to be part of it, guys. I really didn't. I didn't want to be part of it. Ironically, all those people who I had problems with have now left because they're incompetent. Each and every one of them, guys, they've all left. They have all left because, well, they've all left because they're incompetent, basically. Yeah, but this is breaking news, guys. Zia Youssef, I no longer believe working to get a reform government elected is a good use of my time, and hereby resign the office, Youssef said without giving any words. I think he's got something to do with this woman wanting to ban the burqa. I think he's got something to do with the backlash that he got from Rupert Lowe, all these things, guys. And like, when things like this happen, you understand when people like Rupert Lowe have left and they're like, yeah, Rupert Lowe is putting his heart on his sleeve and he's saying, these are the problems here. And now all these people are resigning, all the people that Rupert Lowe was complaining about. Well, do you know what, guys? I don't know. Are they going to let Rupert Lowe back in? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Listen, we're a long way before the election. Robert Jenrick's going to take over the Conservative Party. Keir Starmer's will stop the boats before the next election. And there's a lot of pomp and pageantry. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors coming. But yeah, Rupert Lowe has gone, guys. He's gone. He's finished. He's over. He's going directly to Civilian Street. He's not collecting $200. He's going directly off. Right, guys, hang on. There's so many comments. Right, I did want to talk about aliens today, but right, guys, do you want me to run quickly through some of the things I'm seeing? All right, some of the things I'm seeing in the mainstream, some of these things that I'm seeing, and I'm genuinely thinking, right, is there some sort of alien armada on its way here? Right, hang on, let me get this right. UK veterans are saying if you control the food, you can control the population, which is true. Right, I'm just going to jump down. There are far too many comments for me to do, guys. There are far too many comments to do. Gap year students. Oh, right. Cassie, is that true? Cassie's saying gap year students to do a year military training. Where's that from? Cassie? All right. Okay. Gap year troops to get the army growing. Strategic defense. Oh, guys, right. The picture on here, right? The picture. There's a picture on here of Keir Starmer putting a helmet on. I don't know if I can look at that. Look, I'm nothing against him. I mean, nothing that I'm going to say publicly against him. I'm just going to scroll up. Keir Starmer has bet on a gap year army to fight the Russian threat. A new review are aiming to transform defence over the next decade. Recommends school and college leavers spend a year in uniform to test whether they enjoy forces. Guys, like, this is no surprise to me. But when I say things like months in advance, things like there's going to be a massive recruitment campaign mid to late June. That's when you're going to see it. And then mid to late June, and it's looking like there's going to be, a massive military recruitment campaign. So John Anderson over on YouTube is saying the Vulcans are coming in its first contact. We need Picard. M5 is saying good. I don't like what they did to Rupert Lowe. Guys, listen, it doesn't have a nice taste in your mouth, does it? How this whole political game is played. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I saw how it was being played. I didn't want part of it. I would much rather deal with military and I'd much rather deal with the people in the military than these politicians. At least people, right? You know what? When I first left the military, in what was it, 2011? When I first left, I started I started my first business, and I still thought I was in the military, whereby if you say something to someone and you have an agreement with them, they do it. and they will move heaven and earth to do what they've said for you because they've said it. And I just didn't realize how difficult it is operating outside the military. No, actually, guys, I'm gonna rephrase that. I didn't realize how easy it is operating within the military when everybody's motivated, everybody wants to help each other, nobody wants to throw anybody under the bus, and everybody's working together towards a common goal. When you leave and you're not around that, guys, you just look around and you're like, wow, this really is a ruthless world. And Mr. Tyler Evans over on YouTube is saying Russia has claimed that the UK had part in Ukraine drone attack the other day. You know what? I mean, we don't know. We will never know. Maybe some information will come out in months. I don't know. What I do know, though, is right, I think the YouTube's gone again. The TikTok's gone again. The TikTok has gone again. Are we back on the TikTok? Are we back on? Are we back on? Right, guys, listen, if I lose you, we are double streaming right now. We're streaming on here and we're streaming on YouTube as well. The YouTube signal, I've not lost it on YouTube. And earlier on when I lost you guys, I was still on YouTube. Yeah, so guys, listen, sorry, I'll just say that again, all right? So for those, I know it's just jumped back on. So guys, listen, we are double streaming, so if I do lose TikTok, I'll still be on YouTube. The YouTube does seem to be a better signal. Right, let me jump down. Yeah, thanks guys for letting me know we're back on and we're good. Right, Awesome Fire is saying GCHQ is shutting you down. Yeah, maybe they are. Right, so look, guys, while we've got a lull in the questions right now, while there's a lull in these questions, right, I just want to throw something out there. We've all seen, right, this, I don't know if you guys have seen, but something happened. Let me just read this for you guys, all right, because just as a show of hands, ladies and gentlemen, like, who thinks that we're, like, literally, guys, who thinks we're alone in the universe? Who thinks that we are just literally one planet in the universe? Or do other people think that there is other intelligent life out there? So I'm just going to read you this, guys. This is an article from a couple of days ago. Now, we're talking about something called the Buga sphere. Hang on, let me refresh this. So I think it was, hang on. So there's something called the Buga sphere that landed, hang on. Scientists have released the first X-ray images of a mysterious sphere-shaped object recovered in Colombia, which locals claim is of alien origin. The so-called UFO was spotted in March. Yeah, it's definitely, right, we're going, right, okay, we're going. Right, I'm just going to close that down. Right, oh, you guys on YouTube, should I just close them down? Should I close the TikTokers down? Should we close TikTok? Right, are we back? I think we're back. It's every time I start talking about aliens. It's literally every time I start talking about aliens, it shuts me down. Guys, literally, when I start talking about aliens, it shuts me down. Right, I'm going to try this again, guys. I'm going to try this again. If I start talking about aliens now and it shuts me down, we know there's some sort of deep state operatives watching my channel and closing me down when I talk about aliens, all right? So I'm just going to try and read this again, guys, all right? So this is something... So scientists have released the first X-ray images of a mysterious spherical-shaped object recovered in Colombia, which locals claim is of alien origin. The so-called UFO was spotted in March over the town of Buga, zigzagging through the sky in a way that defies the movement of conventional aircraft. The object was recovered shortly after it landed and has since been analysed by scientists who have discovered it features 3 layers of metal-like material. I think we just had a little power cut. 3 layers of metal-like material and 18 microspheres surrounding a central nucleus they are calling a chip. Dr. Louis Valgazes, a radiologist who examined the sphere, reporting no welds, no joints, which would typically indicate human fabrication. Guys, look, this thing is absolutely wild. I'm just gonna talk now of what I know about this Buga sphere. This thing, when they started to analyze it and dissect it, it was giving out a radio. It was transmitting something on a radio frequency. They don't know who or to whom it was transmitting that radio frequency, but it was transmitting a radio frequency. Now, if that doesn't creep you out, guys, it gets worse or better, whichever way you're looking at. When they opened the Buga sphere up, they found loads of fiber optics with sensors on them. Now, they don't know what they don't know what those sensors were because they can't analyze them yet. But, if we're thinking now, guys, that, if we're thinking that in 2029, we've got this huge, this asteroid on its way to Earth. It's like literally, it's heading straight for us. And then if we look back through ancient texts talking about planet Nibiru coming close every 3,600 years, this all fits into that timeline. It all fits perfectly together, and it fits seamlessly. Now, there was an evolution jump in humanity. Nobody knows when it was. I certainly don't know when it was, but I don't know if you guys know this, but you know how humans have 23 chromosomes. So we all know that, we get taught it at school. Did you know that humans are the only apes? Humans are the only apes that have 23 chromosomes. All other apes have 24 chromosomes, and the human genome has basically 2 chromosomes spliced together. Now, the only other place we find this in the world is in, have you got your, okay. The only other place we find this in the world is when humans have done DNA editing, gene splicing, all that sort of stuff. So, like, you can see now that there's like this wealth of evidence building up. Go on, run past, run. She's in, right, go on, sit down. What was that? Was that the Buga? Was that the Buga who just ran past? I don't know. Was that the Buga from the Buga sphere? Yeah, Debbie Doobs. Yeah, so we get, yeah, sorry. So, yeah, 46, 23 from each parent. But what I'm saying here is, guys, humans are the only apes that have, and again, maybe we're not apes, I don't know, but humans are the only apes that have 23 chromosomes. All other apes have 24 or 48. Now, this is because 2 of our chromosomes spliced together. That has happened nowhere ever in nature. It's never happened, guys, all right? Now, the ancient story from prehistory is that there was an alien race on Nibiru. They came to Earth to mine gold. They wanted to uplift a civilization on Earth because there was mass protest. They were all protesting on Nibiru. They wanted our gold. They didn't want to mine it themselves, so they used humanoids and they uplifted us, changed our DNA, hence Adam and Eve, changed our DNA, then humans were their first slave labor. I'm not sure how much credibility I give that story. Now, the reason I don't give that story much credibility, but I'm not saying it's false. I'm just saying I don't give that story much credibility because it's a lot easier to mine gold in space. There's a lot more gold flying around the cosmos on asteroids, on other planets. That's a lot easier to get than coming to Earth and mining for it. I don't know. Maybe they needed compact gold. Maybe they needed gold at a certain density. I don't know. But, that is, and I do think there's a wealth of knowledge, and there's a growing wealth of knowledge that this could actually be an alien craft. On on its way here in 2029. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that. I just wanted to throw it out there because this Buga sphere does to me seem like an alien probe, and you would normally send an alien probe before your main task force gets there. But anyway, alas. Right, let me get some of these comments. Brummie is saying, I don't think people really comprehend how big space is and how tiny Earth is. Yeah, like, you know, like, again, like people, like it's very difficult to try and conceptualize how big space is. We hear things like light years and like, you know, like our like the Milky Way, for example, our galaxy, our galaxy, the Milky Way. It's over 100 million. It would take over 100 million years traveling at the speed of light to cross it. Can you just conceptualize that, guys? It takes light 100 million years to, in fact, is it 100,000 years? It's a big distance, guys. That's what I'm getting at. Wendy is saying another 4 years of this hell till 2029. But wouldn't we all be acceptance of any aliens that came in 2029? Googly is saying it's the Anunnaki. Paul Poops, fiber optic is man-made, so we believe. It's either reverse technology or bull. Ah, right, Paul Poops. I heard that the patents, and look, I don't know how much is in this, but I heard that the patents from fiber optics actually came from reverse engineering alien craft in Area 51. If you look at fiber optics, there was no precursor to fiber optics. It was literally, we was using copper wires, and then all of a sudden, boom, fiber optics. Everybody's using them. So I'm just gonna leave it open, guys. I don't know what it is. Who said NASA the frauds? Please don't tell me you believe Katy Perry went to space. Oh, do we believe Katy Perry went to space? I do think she went. I do think that thing was real. The technology isn't really, they didn't really, I mean, they did go into space, but it wasn't really like the technology. I mean, we used to do that. We used to use balloons and rockets, and we used to get into the mesosphere. So, like, you know, Debbie Doobs is saying she went to low Earth orbit. No, she didn't, guys. Look, she didn't even go into orbit. Like, we think of space, so. So imagine this piece of wood as being planet Earth. To go into orbit, what you do is you would come out to whatever distance, and then you would have to reach a relative horizontal velocity to keep yourself in the motion. So you're traveling, like for you guys, that way, but you're falling, and you'd be falling at the same rate as the Earth is curved. And then you just keep going round because the gravity keeps pulling you in. That's orbit. Katy Perry and her mates, they didn't go into orbit. They just went up, popped a parachute, and came back down. It wasn't anything exciting, guys. It was like, it was probably the worst space flight I've ever seen. I think the whole thing took like 10 minutes. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I do think that actually happened, guys. I do. Only because the technology was so rudimental and ridiculously, like, stupid. Right, let me go. Right, guys, I'm just going to jump down because there's loads of comments, guys. There's lots of comments. Right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Right, guys, listen, I want to bring everyone back to this, a little bit of breaking news that everybody's got. That we had today. Zia Youssef has resigned from Reform. Zia Youssef has resigned. So the chairman, what was he? Was he the chairman? Zia Youssef has retired, guys. He retired. He's resigned. I got it out in the end. I'm just going to read you this, guys. Chairman of UK's Reform Party resigns. London, June 25, Reuters. Zia Youssef, chairman of Britain's Reform Party, has resigned on Thursday. Reform, led by Brexit campaigner Nigel Farage, won 5 parliamentary seats in a breakthrough result at last July's national election. I no longer believe working to get a Reform government elected is a good use of my time. I hereby resign the office. So there you have it, guys. He's gone. He's finished. He's not coming back. It's over. He's done. As far as I'm concerned, guys, I'm not gonna shed any tears about that. I think what they did to Rupert Rowe was disgusting. But there you go, guys. There you go. Rupert Rowe has resigned. Another thing I want to talk about really quickly, guys, is where is it? Shh. Yeah, just with this, as we're talking about as we're talking about Zia Youssef and Reform and the resignations. Thank you, May Bateman, for your continued subscription. Thank you, guys, so much. So yesterday, I think it was, there was a parliamentary, what was it? Let me just read this. Sarah Pochin, she stood up basically and she asked for she asked Keir Starmer if he would ban the burqa. Now, there's a lot of reason in public spaces. Now, there's a lot of reasons for this, guys. Now, I think, how do I say this? Let's put it this way then, guys, right? Let's put it this way, right? You know, if you go put petrol in, you know, if you're on a bike, you go put petrol in at a petrol station, they make you take your helmet off, right? Yeah? They do. Am I right, guys, or am I wrong? Just let me know. If you go to put petrol in at a petrol station and you've got a bike helmet on, they make you take it off, don't they? Because they say, well, you know, for security reasons, we want to see your face because if you do a runner, then at least you've got your face on security. The argument is solid. The argument is fine. I can't argue with that. It's a fair comment. But if you're wearing a burqa, it's totally fine. It is totally fine, guys, if you're wearing a burqa. So can you conceptualize this now, guys? How weird and dystopian this is. And look, if there's anybody here who's who's Muslim who can argue this with me, just please, let me know. But can you imagine now, 2 people, they pull up to put some petrol in, all right? You've got a guy on a bike, and then you've got a Muslim woman, and she gets, if she's allowed, and then you've got a Muslim woman, she gets out of the car, she's got the full veil on, conservative traditional Muslim. She gets out and she's filling her car up with petrol, full veil on, and the man on the bike, he gets out, and then the voice comes over the tannoy, excuse me, can you take your helmet off, please? It just doesn't make sense to me, guys, all right? So either we accept as a country that we can all walk around with our faces covered, or we don't, or we say, you can't have both. Do you understand that, guys? We can't have two separate systems running in parallel. I mean, I'm just thinking about this in real time, guys. But what happens if somebody who wears the burqa, what happens if they get arrested and they have to have their picture taken? Do they keep it on? What's the passport pictures like? In fact, that's another one, guys. Passport control. When you're going through, and these are things I've never even thought of, guys. When you're going through customs, right? How do they get through customs? Jeez, I've only just thought of that. So guys, I don't know the answer to this. So if somebody's walking through customs and they're wearing the burqa, and they show their passport, do they have to remove the burqa to show their face? I don't know how this happens, guys. I don't know how this works. Or do they just say, yeah, you look, yeah, I mean, whatever, just let you through. Can you guys not see the big problems there? But yeah, anyway, guys, it is a strange thing. You can literally just, you've got to have one or the other. You can't have both. EG News is saying Zia Youssef. Isn't his first name Mohammed? Isn't his first name Mohammed, Zia Youssef? Let me check. Zia Youssef. I think his name's, let me see. Yeah, so his actual name is Mohammed Ziauddin Youssef. Born in 1986, he's a multimillionaire British businessman and political campaigner who was, it's been changed quick on Wikipedia, the chairman of Reform. Zia Youssef, born in North Lanarkshire, Scotland. I didn't know he was Scottish. His parents migrated from Sri Lanka in the 80s. They both work for the NHS. His father is a doctor and his mother is a nurse. Youssef was educated at the boys only private school. Do you know what? He does have that. He does have that look about his face. Boris Johnson's got it as well. There's a certain like facial expression people do who go on, who go to private boys' schools. They have this certain expression on their face. Youssef was educated at Boys Only School, Hampton School in southwest London, where he won a scholarship, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, so there you go, guys. He's done, he's over, he's finished. I don't think he's coming back. And, some people might be saying good riddance. I think it's smoke and mirrors. Right, let me jump and get these comments, guys. There's so many comments. Woken Flower over on YouTube is saying, Woken Flower over on YouTube is saying, wish Nigel would go. Woken Flower, can you give more text on that, buddy? Why do you wish Nigel would go? Look, guys, I've met Nigel. He's when I say I've met Nigel, I'm not best mates with him. I've not got his number on WhatsApp. I've got a friend who's got his number. When I met him, and it was only a brief meeting, it was only a very short meeting, guys. My perception of him was he was a very genuine guy. He was very intelligent. He was very sharp. And at that event, he was the only one who was of the A-listers. He was the only one actually who stayed behind and had a beer with everyone in the pub. So do you know what? I can't say anything bad about Nigel. I really can't. I really can't say anything bad about Nigel. And then John Anderson over on YouTube is also saying, do you think they should fast track the home guard deployment? I think they're going to fast track the home guard deployment once Vladimir Putin does whatever strike back he's going to do to Ukraine. I think that's going to be the catalyst, guys. I really do. I think that's going to be the catalyst. Right, let me jump down and get these. Lib dog, wrong Youssef Raven. No, it's not the wrong. Okay, so right, okay. No, it's not the wrong Youssef. So, Lib Dog, this is definitely not the wrong Youssef. This is definitely Zia Youssef, right? I'm literally looking at his Wikipedia page right now. Mohammed Ziauddin Youssef. There's literally a picture of him. Unless Wikipedia is wrong, which I don't think it is, but it's definitely not the wrong. Definitely not the wrong Youssef. EG News is saying, I love Farage. Let me jump up and get these guys. They said, so Kieran, is that Kieran? Am I saying that right? Kieran B, or is that Kieran B? Kieran B or Kieran B. I may be butchering that name, and I do apologize. He's saying, the look on their faces is because they're part of a secret society and dark secret orders. Maybe it is, guys. Listen, the older I get, when I first started my company, right? My first company, I was all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. I'm gonna provide X, and I'm gonna give it to Y, and I'm gonna take this much off the top for myself. It's gonna be awesome. And then I just started, especially in the defense industry, and then I started to see that people who have no right to be winning contracts are winning contracts. People who don't really have any products or services and have nothing, and and the products and services that they are offering as a concept are just flawed at the most fundamental levels. You start to wonder why people are getting these contracts and this money's just being wasted. Right, let me come down. Google it is saying that the Chagos Isle deal is being reported to the UN human rights chiefs. Wouldn't it be funny if Lord, what's his name? Lord Hamer? Is it Lord Hamer? Lord Hamer? Lord Hammer? Lord Hamer or whatever his name was. Lord Hamer was to be in charge of that, and Lord Hamer bashed it down, Keir Starmer's mates. EG News, there was one in Scotland and one in the UK. Right, yeah, so there's two Youssefs. So there's the Youssef who was right, yeah. They were both born in Scotland, guys. They were both born in Scotland. As per Wikipedia, Zia Youssef was born in Scotland, in Bellshill, North Lanarkshire, Scotland, guys. That's from his Wikipedia page. That's from his Wikipedia page. I wasn't there at his birth, unfortunately. I'm not there at every politician's birth, contrary to popular belief. 4 men jailed over NHS fraud. Right, guys, listen. So for those of you who were on earlier, just quickly, guys, for those of you guys who were on earlier, we was talking about an incident, I think it was yesterday, involving a 34-year-old man outside a primary school with one of those things that when you're in the jungle... Did you just jump? I thought I got a little trumper over there. So what we're saying is, where was I going? Yeah, incident outside of primary school involving one of those things with one of the things that you use to chop things down in the jungle. A 34-year-old man. Now, I've seen the picture of this man. Now, I'm not doing anything that the mainstream media here isn't doing. I would speculate from my analysis of looking at that picture, he doesn't look like he was, how do I say it? He doesn't look like a white man. And I'm going to say that, guys. The police are saying things like this. The police are releasing this evidence. So, why wasn't this released? Why wasn't this information released to the public? Surely, if there's someone on the loose, right? Like if you've got kids, wouldn't you like to know a description of a man who was outside a school playground with one of those apparently waving one of those things around? Wouldn't you want to know a description of it, or just a 34-year-old man? Like, what do? You just go up to everyone? How old are you, mate? Oh, I'm 36. Oh, it's not you. Well, how old are you, mate? I'm 30. Right, is it you? Are you 34? Yeah, I'm 34. What are you doing here? I'm dropping my daughter off. Why are you dropping her off? Because she goes to school here. Like, you would want more information, wouldn't you? Just for security. April is saying, good evening, all. Right, EG News is saying Israel to attack Israel to attack Reeling Beirut neighborhood on Eid al-Adha. Israeli leader has finally admitted to arming gang. Right, this actually is going to come, right, okay, so this is actually, I'm going to pin this and then I want to find this because I've got to be very careful when I'm talking about this. Got to be very careful when I'm talking about this. Got to be very careful when I'm talking about this. Yeah. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, another bit of breaking news. All right. This is from less than an hour ago. I'm just reading now. I'm literally reading from Times of Israel, guys. Okay. I'm reading from the Times of Israel. All right. Just going to read this, guys, okay? Right, so anybody is in the comments and you're like, oh, Sean, you're just... I'm not. I'm literally reading from Times of Israel, and then you guys give comments. I'm not going to give any comments on this. Israel providing guns to Gaza gang to bolster opposition to Hamas. Security Cabinet wasn't informed of the plan to start arming Abu Shabab group, which was created in Rafah last year and has its roots in looting aid trucks. I'm just putting it out there, guys. That is literally what that's literally what it's saying on the that's literally what they're saying on the Times of Israel. So Israel has been arming a criminal gang in the Gaza Strip as part of an effort to strengthen opposition to Hamas. In the enclave, defense sources confirmed on Thursday, following remarks on the matter by former defense minister, and I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, guys, because I'll just butcher it. So there we have it, guys. You know, the web is deep. There's a lot of twisted webs going on here, guys. You know, and this is what I mean. You know, we're all meant to think these things are black and white. Right, so over on YouTube, I'm just going to come on to Woken Flower's comment. So I asked Woken Flower over on YouTube why he doesn't like Nigel Farage. And he said, I don't think he is who he thinks he is. I prefer Rupert Lowe. He says stuff I want to hear. Well, you know, I mean, I have met Nigel Farage, and he does seem, genuine. But, you know, I've only met him for a short time. I'm not his... Oh, hang on. Hang on. Right, okay. I thought we'd froze then. I think we froze, but we're back on. We are back on. We are back on. Yeah. So who knows, guys? Who knows what's happened? But you know, when you supply this sort of stuff, and when you're giving these sort of gifts, like, how do we know where they're ending? Like, for example, guys, and I'm just throwing it out there as an example, okay? So, like, the munitions and the military aid, now I'm encompassing a big thing there, guys. I'm encompassing a big thing. So the munitions and military aid that were given to Ukraine, how do we know that's not making its way back through Europe and crossing over the channel? Like, how do we know that those people that are coming over on the boats, how do we know that they can or cannot fabricate drones? Like, how do we know this stuff, guys? You know, when we give all these things out and we totally saturate the area with those things, there's always an element of we don't know where they're going. Like, when the United States left Afghanistan, literally, I think with the munitions that were left behind, I think Afghanistan had the 5th best equipped army in the world. You know, and a lot of this stuff, I would speculate, is being given to, potential hostile actors. Right, let me jump down. Let me jump up, actually. Oh, hang on. But yeah, with this guard force that we've got, guys, you know, so there's a lot of people talking about this. And Brummy is saying, Brummy is saying, defo arms and ammunition sales going on. Best time to do it during a war. You know what? It depends what we mean, because the best time to do it is actually after a war, because you have a big surplus of stuff built up. But the problem is, yeah, you know what? I'm going to say yes, of course there's a lot of stuff being sold, but this is at government level, so the smaller players, the brokers, they get pushed out. Oh, hang on. Googly, hang on. Let me just get, hang on. Let me, yeah. Sorry. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you guys are just joining, and I know I don't do this enough, and I should probably do it a little bit more, can you tap the screen? Can you like, comment, subscribe, follow, hit the bell notification, whether you're watching on YouTube or on TikTok, whatever platform you guys are watching, and do all those things that help this channel grow. And do you know what, guys? Since I've been on, we've lost 7 followers. We've lost 7 followers. And do you know what? I'm going to take that as a badge of honor, because I would rather have people who like my content than people that just come because I've said something good. If you don't like everything, we're not interested, guys, because I am 100% honest to you guys. I say it as it means. And do you know what, guys? Sometimes I get my lives banned. Sometimes I get restricted. Sometimes I get the videos taken down. But do you know what, guys? It is what it is. I'm always honest to you guys. Cassie is saying, have you seen ISUPK? I don't know what that means. ISUPK. I don't know what that means, Cassie. I don't know what that means, Cassie. ISUPK. I don't know what that means, Cassie. I really don't know what that means. Yeah, I have no idea what. Right. Oh, hang on. Do you? Right, Mr. Tyler Evans is saying, do you think? Hang on. Hang on. Do you think Russia told Trump about return attacks so they don't think it's a nuke if they use arsenic? No, I don't. And the reason I'm saying this is because the whole fabrication of that Russian weapon system, arsenic, was so it wouldn't be mistaken for an intercontinental ballistic missile. So the arsenic is an intermediate ballistic missile, and it has a very specific launch signature. So when it fires off up into the sky, people who are tracking these from satellites, they can tell by the burn pattern that it's not an intercontinental ballistic missile, so it doesn't have the ability to get over to the United States. So I would say that Putin can launch these as much as he wants, and as long as it's that same arsenic weapon system, it's not going to give that alert signal into the United States, which is a very clever thing that the Russians did. That gives them the ability to use this weapon system without scaring the United States, basically. Right, let me get these comments. We've done that one. Right, okay, I will Google it, Cassie. Hang on, I will Google it. ISUPK. ISUPK. It's up. The School of Practical Knowledge. The Israelite School of Practical Knowledge, is that what we're talking about? Is that what we're talking about? The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. The group is part of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, which regards Black people as descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. In fact, you know what, guys? You know the guy in South Africa? Who's always standing and doing the chants and calling for really bad things to happen to certain people? I'm sure he classes himself as the word we're not allowed to talk about. All right, yeah, listen, Cassie, I had no idea that was even a thing. Debbie Doobs is saying, oh, hang on, there's another comment here. If Russia and Ukraine don't come to an agreement, Trump is going to sanction them both. So nobody cares what Donald Trump's going to do. He literally, guys, I've been saying what's going to happen this year for the longest time. Donald Trump is going to do the only thing that he can do and pull funding. That is all Donald Trump can do. That's all he can do, guys. He can only pull funding. That is it, nothing else, right? Donald Trump can only pull funding. The war's going to go on. The Ukrainians and the Russians are going to fight until there is a unanimous winner, like in all conflicts. All conflicts end with a winner and they all end with a loser. Jacqueline Butterworth is saying, what are your thoughts on Reform's Doge? I think it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. Unless it's got governmental power, which it will get, it's pointless. It's just a headline grabber, guys. The way that the United system is run and governed, sorry, the way the United system is run and governed, anything like this has to go through Parliament, and then those politicians have to vote on it. Now, realistically, guys, are those politicians going to vote on something that's going to bite them in the pocket? I would speculate they're not going to vote on that, so it's never going to get off the ground, guys, because the system, how it's built up. Debbie Doobs is saying, Olschnick can't be shot down, can it? No, it can't. It can't be stopped. Cassie is saying there are videos on TikTok. I will have a look at that when after this. Is it true when a country is at war, the Prime Minister cannot be sacked? I mean, I don't think a prime minister can be sacked anyway. They have to be elected, or they have to be ousted by their, by their party. I don't think that changes. Reeves hands herself dangerous powers to control pension pots. Yeah, we knew this was coming, guys, didn't we? We knew this was coming. If those of you, like my friend who was sat there the other day, he was telling me how much he pays into his pension. It's eye-watering. It's absolutely eye-watering how much he pays per month into his pension. And then I said, right, so what do you get back? And he worked it out, and I sat there, and I was like, dude, that's like, you could invest that money better yourself. He's like, I know. This is the problem with pension pots, guys. They get given to people to make, they get given to banking institutes as a slush fund to play on the stock market. Now, the problem is the more of these companies lose money because of whatever's happening, the more of these companies lose money, the wilder the bets have to be to regain that, regain that liquidity. And at some point, guys, I've said it quite a few times, at some point, one of these pension companies is going to go bust, and they are all going to fall like a house of cards. Remember when I told you guys how fragile the water system is? Well, the pension system in the United Kingdom is just as fragile. Debbie Doobs, didn't Churchill take over from Chamberlain? So Churchill was voted in. Chamberlain didn't want to have that. Didn't want to be there. Churchill actually got voted in after, and I don't know if you guys know this, but when the Germans went into France in, what was it, 1940 maybe? 1939 or 1940? When the Germans went into France, the French did what the French like surrendered. I've got to be very careful what I say about nations because I get the live band. When the Germans went into France, the French all surrendered. Winston Churchill, who was then, I believe, defense minister, he put out a message to them and said, right, bring all your ships to British ports because we can't let them fall into the bad guys' hands. The French said, we will never surrender. We will never surrender. We will keep these ships and we will protect these ships. They will never fall into the bad man's hand. Hotty, hotty, hot. They were all eating cheese and baguettes. They had some garlic and onions. It was a really nice, they had a really nice little spread. So then Churchill said to him again, he said, look, we can't let the bad guys get your, we can't let the bad guys get your ships. Hand them over to us, sail them to a British port. The French refused again. And I think the last communication that Winston Churchill sent was, you've got, I don't know, 5 hours or something to comply, get your house in order. Winston Churchill then gave the order just to sink the entire French fleet. So he sank the entire French fleet. And again, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but more French sailors died in the Second World War at the hands of the British than they did at the Germans. When he walked into Parliament the next day, when he walked into Parliament the next day, he thought he was going to get sacked. But he knew he had to do it because he couldn't let those ships fall into German hands. So, but he actually got a standing ovation. when he walked in, and in my opinion, that's what got him elected as Prime Minister. Sean, you was right about what would happen to Elon. To Sean. Sean, you was right. Right, what's happened to Elon? What's happened to Elon? Sean, you was right about what would happen to Elon, to Sean. I don't know what we talking about. What's happening? What's happening? I feel like Donald Trump has changed his tack with this new. No, guy, Jacqueline. Yeah. Listen, 2016 Trump was fantastic. He was savage. He was amazing. This Trump, he's still savage, but I do think there's a lot of scheming going on behind the scenes. Reform and Tommy Robinson movement funded by, yes, of course. Oh, hang on. Right, okay, right. Yeah, okay, all right, okay, yeah, okay. I'm just going to leave that there. I believe they suspend elections during wars. So, yeah, it depends what part of the war you're on. Like, for example, in Ukraine, they can't have an election because, like, the country is, right, okay, if you're going to have an election and you're going to believe in democracy, then everybody needs to cast their vote. Not just some, like, everybody needs to cast their vote. So, if they have an election right now in Ukraine, huge parts of the Donbass are in occupation. Those people will not be able to vote. They're not going to be able to bring all the soldiers off the front line to vote. Lots of people who have fled the country, like real refugees, have fled the country. So how would that work? For example, the United States in the Second World War, there was nobody attacking them. They were just at a state of war. They could quite easily hold an election because, you know, everybody could vote. And it's all about giving people that choice to vote. And again, you can argue, and I get those arguments, but that's the optics of it anyway. Ken Jumoltole is saying, are you military? No, but I was. April Lee says, I pay $15,000 a year to a pension. Yeah, well, do you know what? Like it's an eye-watering sum you pay to your pension. And Japan is live going to the moon. Right, okay. You know, it's an eye-watering amount you pay per year to your pension. Now, April, do you think you could invest that money better yourself for your own future? Or do you trust some bankers to make bets on the stock market with it, with your money? Paul Poops is saying Churchill was a Freemason. Google it. What is this about Japan is live going to the moon? Let me just Google. Let me just have a look at this. Wow. So, oh, wow, they're on. Right, guys, listen, if you didn't know, I am a bit of a space geek, so I'm really interested in this. So they're landing. Give over. They're landing on the moon right now, and I didn't know. How did I know this, guys? How did I know this? So iSpace lunar lander live. Japan company attempts moon landing. Right, okay. Right, I'm going to have to watch that another time, guys. I'm going to have to watch that another time. Right, so just quickly, guys, like, when there's this race to the moon right now, okay, and it's all about something called helium-3. Now, helium-3 is helium-3 is used in nuclear reactors, but it's also used in quantum computing to cool those computers down. Now, I know that sounds nerdy, guys. It does, but the first organization, whether that's a country, whether that's a private company, whatever, but the first people to successfully mine a sufficient quantity of helium-3 and crack quantum computers, that means that any information anywhere is accessible. That's what it means, guys. Like, your the hidden files on your computer that you've got hidden away, forget about it, it's over. Because quantum computing, guys, it's so quick, it can break through any, you know, it can literally break through any firewall, any encryption, and the first people to do that, they will just take control of cyberspace. That's why people are trying to have this trying to have this race to the moon, I guess, to get the helium-3. Right, I'm just looking up down these comments, and Art Stew over on YouTube is saying hello, Art Stew to you. And then we have got we've got Saza Rabirio saying something in another language. Look, I don't know what it says. I can't understand it, but I respect it all the way. And then we've got John Anderson saying, I like your content, your honesty, answer, and how you show to be respectful to others. Thank you so much, John. Right, let me get these comments, guys. Let me get right. There's a lot of comments on TikTok about Elon Musk saying, Sean, you was right about Elon Musk. Let me go on to this, guys, because, yeah, again, I'm just getting Elon's up. Right, I'm on his page. 17 minutes. Oh. Whoa! By the beard of Zeus! By the beard of Zeus and Odin's eye! Stop everything! Apply your safety catchers, ladies and gentlemen, right? This is from... Whoa, right, guys, listen. This is from Elon Musk's... Sorry, guys, right. Elon Musk, 17 minutes ago. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, John Donald Trump. Remember yesterday, guys? Remember yesterday when I was on this live stream? I was on the live stream yesterday, right? And I said... I've had my question marks about Elon, but I'm calling it now. Guys, listen, all these videos are uploaded to YouTube. Go back to my video. If you want to judge if you want to look at my judge of character, yesterday I was on the live stream and I said, I know a lot of you guys were watching as well. It's uploaded to YouTube as well. Yesterday I said, I'm calling it now, guys. I think Elon's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's in the Viper's den, but he's thinking, if I'm here, I can do net good. Yes, I'm going to do there'll be some bad stuff I have to do, but I can do net good. Elon Musk has just dropped this is from Elon Musk's page, guys. Again, it may be wrong, it may be hacked, who knows? Time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump, and he's tagged him. He's totally trolling him. He's tagged him. Is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Wow. Wow. That, guys, listen, that has just blown my mind. That has just blown my mind. That is absolutely insane. And then he's putting, it's time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong with this, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. See, I'm seeing scheming here. I am genuinely seeing scheming here. I'm seeing the context now that, maybe now Donald Trump's played his part. Donald Trump's going to go and a new party's going to take over that's run by who? Elon Musk? Well, who's Elon Musk run by? Because I don't believe that he got those contracts off his own. I don't know, guys. Yeah, well, there we are, guys. There we are, guys. That is what we have it. That's what we have it, guys. Elon Musk is calling Donald Trump out. Elon Musk calling Donald Trump out, saying he's in the Epstein files. That's why the information has never been released. Yeah, I'm gonna have to digest this a little bit, guys, because like part of me is in like disbelief. Part of me is in disbelief, but I'm just looking at it now and I'm thinking, right, okay, where does this lead to? Where does this move to? Like, does this lead to Elon Musk taking over the United Kingdom, taking over the United States and becoming like Lord Elon of the world? Who knows, guys? Who knows? Right, let me get some comments. Let me get some of these comments because this is an absolute bombshell, guys. This is an absolute bombshell. Luxford is saying there's something off about Elon. Wouldn't trust him. Yeah, again, I had my reservations about Elon. Literally yesterday on the live stream, literally, guys, yesterday on the live stream, I called it. You guys can go and watch that. It's been uploaded to YouTube. Yesterday, I called it. I said, look, I think Elon's a good guy. I think he knows he's in the viper's nest. He knows he's in the viper's den. But as long as he's in the viper's den, he can do some good. Now he's calling out Donald Trump. Is it like, where do we go with this? Like, how does Donald Trump respond to this? Like, oh, the pomp, the pageantry. What is it a distraction to? Yeah, Trump's not cutting the spending bill, so waste of Elon's time doing Doge. Trump is furious with Elon. But again, you know, like we see these, we see these things and people are saying, oh, but he's a deep state operator. Like some people have put on my comments, yeah, this guy's a deep state operator. He's controlled. I'm like, I'm really not. I'm just a guy in my extension with my laptop open. That's because Trump slabbed him off earlier on the news. Trump upset him earlier. Elon supports Tommy Robinson. The world has gone crazy. It actually has, Debbie Doobs. The world has gone absolutely crazy. That's 2 mega people in battle, says Emma Jane Taylor. April is saying, I don't trust Trump. Matt is saying it's all a chess game. Yeah, it is a chess game. What comes next, and what does this develop into? I think Elon Musk's grandmother is she British? I think Elon Musk's grandmother is British. Holy moly, Musk had better watch his back. Well, Musk's too rich for anyone to try and swizzle him. Right. M5 is saying, I cannot believe that, over on YouTube. And from now is saying, we've gone through a parallel world. Everything is so strange. Yeah, it is. Everything does seem so strange at this time of the world. Right, guys, there is like the comments are going absolutely crackers on TikTok. I am going to jump down. Because I'm just conscious of the time. So Off Grid is saying this could, if I let me pin that, Off Grid is saying this could escalate to a point where Elon defects to China to share SpaceX's tech. Danny Tuds is saying, I think Branson is the reason we won't ever see the list. Branson? Oh, I was thinking Branston Pickle. No, you're thinking, sorry, obviously Branson, not Branston. Sorry, I'm sorry. Listen, guys, you guys who've been on the channel a while, you know I have this thing where I read things too quick and my brain thinks it knows what they mean. Sorry, not Branston Pickle, Richard Branson. I think we're talking about Richard Branson. Trump will shut his SpaceX down. Trump can't shut SpaceX down. Trump can't shut his SpaceX down. It's part of national security. Gareth is saying, thank you, take care. Emma Jane is saying, if the world is now a battle for tech, then that'd be interesting. The world is always, so the only one real battle is the technological battle. Whoever can get higher usually has the advantage. So that is why there's a race, always been a race for space. There's a race for the moon, and these are constant technological developments. From now, from now is saying Elon Musk answers to aliens. Could Elon Musk be part of the Vril Society? Could Elon Musk be part of the Vril Society and he's channeling in alien energy from another world? Is that the thing that's happening? Is Elon Musk channeling in alien energy from another world? I don't know. And from now is also saying we are living in a dark comedy. I swear it. Yeah, it does feel like that. It does feel like everything's stranger all of a sudden. Guys, listen, the bombshells that we have had tonight while we have been online, it's absolutely insane. We have had Zia Yusuf resign and all sorts of crazy stuff there. We've had Elon Musk, and I still can't believe it, guys. Elon Musk 17 minutes ago has just guys, I'm gonna have to do a standalone video on this. I really am. Yeah, so there you are. I mean, he even trolls him at the bottom. Guys. He even trolls him at the bottom. And he's like, "Have a nice day, DJT." Wow. Let me read some of these comments, guys. Let me read some of these comments. So I'm literally just looking on X now, guys, at these comments. Right, the comments, literally all the comments on that thing are just people trying to sell things. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, that is an absolute bombshell, guys. Absolute bombshell. Right, ladies and gentlemen. I guess on that bombshell, we best. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I guess now it's time to put money in the Tesla stocks because I can guarantee people will be screaming to put more money, throw more money at Elon. Off grid. Trump in the Epstein files explains why Palantir has been given so. Oh, yes, of course. Of course it does. It explains everything, doesn't it? Listen, it explains everything, doesn't it? Like once you get it explains everything. The path, the strands unravel, the path becomes clear once you see the light. I'm just going to leave that comment up there. Trump is removing government contracts with Elon as per Trump's Truth Social. I don't think he can. Trump is removing, so Trump's now apparently, okay, guys, like, don't spam me. Yeah, John, I've got your comment, mate. No need to spam. But apparently Trump is, again, I don't know. Apparently, according to Truth Social, Trump is, again, doesn't that scream out guilt? Literally, guys, doesn't that scream out guilt? Be honest, right? Be honest, guys. Oh, and K-Ring is saying, we aren't spamming you, it's your page. Right, okay, sorry, guys. If the comment's repeating, I do apologize. So, guys, listen, doesn't that scream out guilt, though? Like from Donald Trump. You're in the Epstein files. No, I'm not. You're having no more US contracts. What? Like, a logical person would say, Elon, I'm not on those files, mate. I'll release them. Look, there they are. Look. I'm not on them, mate. Like, show me where I'm on them. Like, that's what you do in an argument. If you're innocent, you literally are like, no, I've not done that. Can you show me your evidence that you think of? And you do it publicly. That's what someone who's telling the truth does. And John is saying Trump posted it before Elon did his. Oh, I don't know. It's all going crazy, guys. It's all going crazy. Right, let me see if there's any more update on this. Let me see if there's anything from the mainstream. I told you we was going to talk about space, guys. I knew it. I could feel it in my bones. I could feel it in my toes. I could feel it in my nose. I knew we was going to talk about space today. Elon Musk. So who really gave him that black eye? Elon Musk tells Trump you'd have lost with. Do you know what? Yes, do you know what? Elon Musk tells Trump you would have lost without me. Elon again. Is it pomp and pageantry, guys? Is it pomp and pageantry? I don't know. Hang on. Right, from 11 minutes ago, guys, I'm just going to read you off the mainstream media. Right, guys, listen, I still need to be quite clear on this, right? I've got, like, my heart and my head is saying different things. You've got to understand, is this smoke and mirrors? Is this pomp and pageantry for something else? Breaking news. I'm reading off GB News website, guys. Breaking news. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, claims Elon Musk in extraordinary attack on president. Is that the real reason they've not been? That is the real reason they've not been made public. The Tesla owner spat. Elon Musk has claimed that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files in an extraordinary attack on his former ally. In the latest flare-up in the growing row between the president and his former Doge chief, Musk blasted social media on Thursday evening. Time to drop. Right, okay. Here we go. I'm going to give you a working theory now, guys. I'm going to give you a working theory. If this is a distraction, and I'm not saying it is, I'm saying if this is a distraction, right? Remember how Elon Musk's his popularity absolutely plummeted, right? His popularity absolutely plummeted working with Donald Trump after he took over the Doge office. His popularity absolutely tanked, right? Well, let's just consider, right? Just imagine that if Donald Trump's role is almost fulfilled and they're thinking about getting rid of him in whatever way you guys want to think, maybe that's a spectacular way involving JFK style or whatever, what better way, if they know this is coming, what better way to get Elon back on the public side by throwing this out there? You see where I'm going with that, guys? You see where I'm going with that? What better way to put Elon back up? So my next question is, what is Elon's role? What's Elon's role to play? Because they're obviously pumping his popularity back up for something. That's where I'm going, guys. That's where I'm going with that. So I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking now, guys. That's just what I'm thinking now. Google is saying, Google is saying Starmer to pursue bereaved families for tax after winter fuel U-turn. I don't know what that means. Ministers are looking at restoring the payments as a universal benefit. So what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Ministers are, and K-Ring, I just read that from GB News, K-Ring. I literally just read that from GB News. Right, guys, listen, I am gonna have to close this down now, actually. I'm gonna close this down. So Off-Grid is saying, surely if Trump is in it, Elon wouldn't be privy to that. I think Elon will be privy to a lot of things that you wouldn't expect. And again, I don't know. Listen, guys, I'm just getting this information in real time with you. We're exploring it. We're talking about it together. I genuinely don't know the answers. But what I do know is nothing's what it seems. Elon Musk's popularity has gone back up. So that means, in my opinion anyway, if we think there's some sort of deep state reptilians behind the scene and some Anunnaki controlling everything, then that would mean to me they want Elon's popularity to be high for whatever he has to do next. Matt saying TikTok's just notified him that he's live. I've been watching for ages. I don't know. Yeah, EQ Matt is saying he gave Elon full access, did he? Yeah, he will have had access to everything, I guess. 1722, Trump says doesn't know. So Gareth 333 is saying Trump says doesn't know if he and Musk will continue the good relationship. Yeah, maybe not. Right, let me close that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm going to close it down on TikTok. I'm going to be open for a couple of minutes on, YouTube. If you guys want to jump over there, if you've got anything to say, guys, I'm going to be talking about this a little bit more. Remember, all this stuff, right, whoa, stop! I put it all together. I actually put it all together. I didn't know, guys. I didn't know I was doing it. I've put this all together. Stop. I started, oh my God, right. Guys, you know when the planets align, quite literally? What did I start this live stream about? I started talking about, is there an alien invasion on its way? It was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, wasn't it, right? Yeah? I was talking about this Buga sphere that's been found. Is that an alien probe that's got here? I then talked about, this asteroid that's on its way here. Could that have aliens on board? And could they be nefarious and bad guys? And could we be looking at that sort of scenario? Now we're looking at Elon Musk's popularity gone right up the scale. If there's anyone in the world who's going to lead a Project Blue Beam style attack, defense against an alien invasion, it's going to be Elon Musk, right? So what better way to get his popularity back up now by throwing this out there in the mix? I don't know, guys. I'm just saying things in real time. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Anyway, I'm going to jump over to now, guys. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. I'll be on for a couple of minutes and I'll be closing that one down as well. So if you've got any burning questions you want to throw that over, guys, just go over to YouTube now, because I am closing this one down now. Well, I'm going to close it down. There we are. One. And off. Right, we are off. We're off on YouTube. We're off on YouTube. So we are just back on. We're not off on YouTube. We are off on TikTok. So, guys, what do we think? Do we think that that's actually a thing, like with this Elon Musk? Or do we think it's all smoke and mirrors? Like, when you see these things unravel in real time, you always look back on them, like in a couple of days, weeks, months, or whatever. And you always look back and you think, yeah, that's why they was doing that then. But this is a huge announcement, guys. This is a huge, it's a huge paradigm shift, considering that Elon Musk spent a ton of money to help Donald Trump get elected. And then now all this has happened. I think, and I'm just speculating in real time now, guys, all right? This is just like, this is a little bit of, a little bit of conspiracy, a little bit of thought. I don't know the answers. If Donald Trump has been put in the presidency to do whatever he's fulfilled that task, he can move on. If Elon Musk has not fulfilled his task, whatever task that is, if he's not fulfilled that task, then obviously they need to get his popularity up. What better way to get his popularity up by doing exactly this, what we've just seen, guys, exactly this, what we've just seen, calling out Donald Trump. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I'm only reporting what's been said on mainstream. But maybe, guys, just maybe, we're looking at this, potentially Project Bluebeam may even be on its way. I don't know, guys, but we do know that Project Bluebeam is a fake alien invasion to unite the countries of the world to fight the alien invasion. And who better to fight an alien invasion than Elon Musk? Tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, guys, I am going to close this live stream down now. If you guys are just joining, the whole thing will be uploaded. You guys can watch it at your leisure. Don't forget to like and comment, subscribe, all those things down below that help this channel grow. And I'll see you guys later.